Alright, here we go. This is Math 2, Unit 3, Worksheet 3A, talking about how do we prove that triangles are equal to one another using some different properties. And today we're looking at the reflexive property of congruence. As we go through this process here today, you're going to end up deciding that a triangle is equal to or congruent to another triangle through a series of steps, and you'll arrive eventually at deciding that they're congruent because of the side-side-side postulate, or perhaps the side angle side postulate, or perhaps, this is a correction from my video yesterday, angle side angle postulate, or the hypotenuse leg postulate. So the idea being that if I have a triangle here, if I know that that one, if I know that one, and that one are equal to another triangle that also have the same sides, three sides the same, then they're congruent. If I know a side and an angle and another side to go with another one, then I know that that's congruent. And if I have a, oops, that's not a very good picture, sorry. And if I have a triangle where I know an angle and a side and an angle, then I know they're congruent. And a hypotenuse leg means that if I know the hypotenuse, one across from the right angle, and another leg, then I know it's going to be congruent. So those are the four things we're going to be using along with the reflexive property in this first worksheet. Okay? So looking at number 1, first of all, we have the given information that AD is congruent to BC. So this line here, AD, right? I'm going to just use some colors again. AD is congruent to BC. Okay, so we know that those are congruent. We also know that AB here is congruent to CD. Okay, and so if you were to mark it with a pencil, you could mark it like this, or the other one would be like this, something along those lines. And we want to prove that triangle DAB is congruent to triangle, well, let's say we went on the green line first to the orange, so we're going to go is congruent to triangle BCD. So we went this way and there. And so far what we have is we have two sides. So looking at our options here, we can try to prove that this side is congruent to, well, the other side, and we can try to find an angle. We have a side. We can see if we can prove that that is equal to that one. Or we have angle side angle. Well, I only have two sides so far. Because I'm using reflexive property, what the reflexive property says is that when I have a line like this, and these triangles are sharing that same line, it's going to be equal, it's going to be congruent. So when I go to my statements here, I look down here and it shows AD congruent to BC, AB congruent to CD. This is my given. All I have to do is write that that is given. The next thing says that BD here is congruent to BD. So the BD of this triangle, triangle 1, is congruent to the BD of this triangle 2. For that, we just write down what it is. That is the reflexive property of congruence, and we'll leave it like that. And now that I know that that and that and that are matching up with the three over here, I could say that triangle DAB is congruent to triangle BCD by side, 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 because we found three sides. And that's what we're doing today. Okay, you'll take your triangle, you're going to look for a way to figure out that the two triangles are equal by a side, angle side, angle, or hypotenuse leg, given what you know and using the reflexive property. So let's take a look then at number 4. Number 4 says, given that angle CBD, so given this angle right here, CBD, is congruent to angle ABD. Okay, so here those are going to match, and ADB, so this one, is congruent to CDB, this one. Prove that BDA is congruent to, we're going to probably say BDC. So if we're going to say this one, we want to say this congruent to this one right there. Okay? So first we write down our given stuff. So we have to copy all this down. So I write down angle CBD is congruent to angle ABD, and angle ADB is congruent to angle CDB. So that, first of all, is my given. Just writing that down. Again, using the property today, what we know is that BD is going to be the same for both of these because it's a reflexive property, right? So we could say that segment BD is congruent to segment BD. Okay, so BD is congruent to BD, and that is going to again be the reflexive property of congruence. So now I have an angle, a side, and an angle. So I will say that triangle BDA is congruent to triangle BDC by angle, side, angle. And so now we've proven that those triangles are equal to each other. And that's the idea there. Number 6, we have first of all, angle ABD. So this one is congruent to CDB, this one. Alright, so those angles are congruent. Then it says that line segment AB here is congruent to CD. Okay, so we have a side, an angle, and we're going to use the reflexive property right here to prove that to show that that's equal. And I have a side, an angle, and a side. And I go back up to where we started today. That's one of my options, side, angle, side. So again, to write this out, a little tedious, I know. You write down angle ABD is congruent to angle CDB. Then you write down line segment AB is congruent to line segment CD, and those are both given. And then again, we would say that BD is congruent to BD, and that is the reflexive property of congruence. And then finally, triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CDB, and that's by side, angle, side. That's how we prove that one to be true. Alright, hope that helps you out. Do the other ones. Good luck.